Hey everybody, how you doing today? God's grace for today. The verse I want to share on is Proverbs 14, verse 32. When calamity comes, the wicked are brought down, but even in death, the righteous seek refuge in God. With all this coronavirus stuff going on, and not just the virus itself, but all the effects from it. The stores running out of things, people being laid off work, kids not being able to go to school. Just that verse popped out to me. When calamity comes, the wicked will be struck down, but even in death, the righteous seek refuge in God. If you've got faith in God, He's going to get you through whatever's going on right now, and He's going to carry you through it. And if you don't have faith in God, there's no better time than right now, because this world's getting dark. There's a lot of things that are going on right now that are in the Bible. The Bible talks about in the end times that there'll be earthquakes in various places. Think about all the earthquakes going on lately, and it says there'll be famines. Think about all the countries that don't got food. I mean, our country might not have food soon. With this all this stuff going on. I mean, I don't know if the end's coming tomorrow or 50, 100 years from now. But I know that things are getting darker. And this verse says, but even in death, the righteous seek refuge in God. If you're walking with God, you don't have anything to fear, because you know He's going to get you through it. And if it's part of His plan for your life to end here on earth, then you got that eternal life in heaven. And in the meantime, you can make the most of your days here by helping somebody else and not being afraid. The Bible tells us that God didn't give us a spirit of fear, but He gave us a spirit of love. So instead of being afraid of what's going on, seek God, look to Him, and let Him comfort you. And open up His Word. I got in Psalms today a verse that can actually probably give you some encouragement right here. Is Psalm 91, verse 3 and 4. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers. Under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and your rampart. It says He will save you from the deadly pestilence, the plague, the coronavirus, whatever's going on. God will save you if you look to Him. But in order to receive God's promises, you got to know God's promises. So the one thing I can really encourage you to do, especially if you're one of the people that can't go to work because of this stuff, or can't go to school, and you got some extra time on your hand, what better time to open up the Bible and see if God reveals Himself to you? I promise you He will. But you got to take the time to look for Him. He's always looking for you. But you got to look to Him to see Him. And I just encourage you today, if you don't know God and you got some doubts of whether He exists or not, take the time to see. I promise you, if you seek Him, you'll find Him. But you got to seek Him. You got to get you a Bible. You got to pray. Even if you don't believe in God, pray and ask Him to reveal Himself to you if He's real. Don't ask for specific signs, because the Bible tells us not to test the Lord and not to ask for a sign, but just ask Him to show Himself to you. Start reading His Word and see if things don't just pop off the page to you. Look for things around you and see if you don't see certain people at the right time coming up and saying something to you about God. Maybe nobody ever talks to you about God at all, but then you pray one day and ask God, if you're real, reveal yourself to me. And that day, maybe 5 different people will just happen to say God bless you, or say something to you about God. That's one of the ways He reveals Himself. And the best way to get to know Him is to open up this book. This book has words that were written 2,000 years ago that could describe today to a T. About people being lovers of money and not lovers of God, and lovers of pleasure, and selfish and disobedient. And about the earthquakes, the wars, the rumors of wars. If you read Matthew 24 or Mark 13 or Daniel, I think 12, you can see things going on today, and it's crazy because this book was written 2,000 years ago, some of it more than that, and yet it's describing today perfectly. And a lot of people got a lot of problems with the Bible, but I challenge you to find another book written by so many different people over such a long period of time that fits together like this one. You won't be able to. And just think about all the good that's come out of the Bible. There's a lot of bad things that's happened in churches, and that's just because people corrupt the word, and people are corrupt in general. People lose their faith in God, and some people never had it. But I promise you, if you look to God, He will show Himself to you. And don't rely on humans. Don't rely on another person, because they're always going to let you down. But God will never let you down. His word says He will never leave you nor forsake you. Today, in the midst of all that's going on, it's the perfect time for you to draw near to Christ. It's a perfect time for you to ask Him if He's real if you don't already know Him. And take the time to read His word and just see if He shows Himself to you. Please, if you guys are even thinking about opening up the Bible to see if God's real, if you're thinking about, I want to believe in God, but I don't know, just try. Just pray and try and see what happens. If you don't believe in Him, if He doesn't reveal Himself to you, go back to your same life you've been living. But I promise you, if you seek Him, He will reveal Himself to you. He's got a plan and a purpose for your life. He loves you, regardless of what you've done or what you've been through. And He wants you to know Him. Have a great day. I love you guys. So does God. I'll see you tomorrow.